see how we approach different types of programs like apprenticeships and like graduates, and how there's different nuances to the way in which we attract, the way in which we create curiosity and the talents that we need for the future as well.
Sir, you have mentioned that initially you were working with a bank,
yes.
And then how your career got shifted, like you started hiring for school dropouts or?
And it's very difficult nowadays for a young person to kind of look ahead and say, that's the job I want, when we know that the world around that aspiration is changing every single day. So my advice would be open-minded, think flexibly.
Hi guys, this is Arav Gupta and I'm very excited to announce that today we have Shaun-Anthony sir with us. Sir, how are you? How things are going on?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, I've been in India for the last 4 days. It's been lovely.
Sir, actually I was just going through your LinkedIn profile. I've got to know that you have been into this industry from last 20 years in training and careers and creating programs for different industries and exclusive hiring programs. Can you just walk us through everything in a brief format, your milestones, your journey and everything?
Wow, so just over 20 years I've been in the industry. When I say industry, it's all been financial services. So I started my career in a banking industry, predominantly on experienced recruitment, but back in the UK, around about 2010, we started to launch apprenticeship propositions. So I was responsible for developing and leading the apprenticeship program for the bank that I worked for at the time. That was a very exciting opportunity in the UK because we were creating careers and changing lives for school leavers as much as we have historically also created opportunities for graduates. So apprenticeships in the UK was an enabling opportunity to come into a junior level role in the business and obtain a funded qualification. So I did that for many years, and the volume of recruitment I was responsible for was significant. And it was about 4 years ago that I really wanted to get back into that very kind of intimate way of recruiting and understanding the mindset and journey of young people. And really it was a time in my career where I wanted to explore a different side of financial services. So I was very lucky to move into Fidelity. And also I wanted to be in a global role. I wanted to understand some of the nuances across different regions and continents in terms of the approach to early careers and the types of talent that we have in different countries. So I was afforded the global role at Fidelity, where I'm responsible for early careers from apprenticeship all the way through to MBA graduate level. And I have a team in China, in India, and in the UK. So it's been really eye-opening to see how we approach different types of programs like apprenticeships and like graduates, and how there's different nuances to the way in which we attract, the way in which we create curiosity and the talents that we need for the future as well. I was hiring for graduates. So obviously university leavers, both interns, their penultimate year of their degree, as well as those passing out from their degree. But the apprentices in the UK are designed for school leavers. So these are individuals that haven't yet gone to university. They're making the decision, do I go and get a degree, or do I start work with an adjacent qualification that I'm learning over the course of my working career? So apprenticeships are very much designed for that slightly younger audience that don't have a degree, but they're still hungry to learn.
Freshers sort of. No?
That's it, but they're ready for the world of work. So it's that work and learn parallel, basically.
Sir, what used to be the mindset of a fresher student applying for a job? Is it like a money-oriented mindset or a career-oriented mindset?
It's changed. So, I mean, I'm quite old in the tooth. I've been doing it for a long time, but I think, 20 years ago, it was very much about the money, the benefits, what's in it for me. I think as well with a young audience, you have to take into account the influence of mum and dad and the parental influence, follow my pathway, son or daughter, and I think that's a really, we can't underestimate how influential a mum or dad actually is in the journey of a young person. Where I say it's changed, that's still a big driver for Generation Z, soon to be Generation Alpha, but culture is a really important driver as well. So what will I earn? Really important. What's in it for me? really important.
Yeah.
Will I belong? Do I feel like I have a sense of belonging in this organization?
Yeah.
So I think that need to feel like you're part of a bigger thing rather than purely the money you take home every month when you get paid seems to be a much bigger precedent for young people nowadays.
Right.
And I think that's really important because if you can't be authentic in your role and you don't feel like you belong, why would you want to have a career in an organization where you feel detracted from the company that you represent? And I think that's becoming more and more prominent here in India, in the UK, across Europe and across APAC, that you have to get a sense of connection with the brand or organization that you work with.
So generally, like student got around 15 to 20 lakh of package from Galgotias, and whenever I try to host them, so they also told me कि my parents are willingly, my parents wants me to do a government job, like a sort of a parental pressure for a fresher student. But of course, like that student encouraged themselves and told themselves no, कि they have achieved something in their college life, so they are likely to pursue that BTech journey, a graduate journey. What should be a right mindset of a fresher student applying for a job?
Be open-minded. I think we don't work in a world anymore where there are just clear vertical career pathways. The world is changing. Economy changes rapidly. Technology changes rapidly. So does the mindset and the skill set that we continue to evolve. So whether you are going down the pathway of technology or maybe you're going down the pathway of politics, don't be too narrow in the thinking, because when you think about degrees and qualifications, you think about your own interpersonal skills. Everything in today's world is transferable. So my background is music. You know, and I've been in HR and senior HR for many years. But what am I doing right now? I'm performing. So I'm using that skill. And we mustn't underestimate the power of transferable skills. And it's very difficult nowadays for a young person to kind of look ahead and say, that's the job I want, when we know that the world around that aspiration is changing every single day. So my advice would be open-minded, think flexibly, and think about whatever you're learning and whatever your hobbies or aspirations or extracurricular, make them flexible. Like think about the world flexibly, think about careers flexibly, because did I think I would end up in HR as an aspiring musician? No. Am I using those skills in the job that I do? Absolutely, every single day.
Shaun sir, as you are often creating these career programs and all these things, so how do you keep yourself updated around the technology, or what should be the biggest shift in the future?
By listening, ultimately. I mean, Fidelity is an incredible organization, and I think we are constantly, and I use this term not loosely, but we are unashamedly ambitious. So we are constantly challenging the products that we deliver, the service that we offer to our customers and our clients, always questioning what does tomorrow look like and how can we make that experience better. But the way we evolve, particularly in early careers, is by listening to our students and listening to our future talent. Having forums with parents, running insight days and workshops with Generation Z, Generation Alpha, to really understand what are those metrics, like what are those drivers? Because nowadays recruitment isn't as simple as apply for a job, have an interview, and you've got it or you don't have it. It is very much about how are we evolving to the ever-changing needs of a different generation. What inspires me about today's young generation is just how open and bold they are. And honest they are about what they need in an ever-changing world. If we in Fidelity can't respond to that, then we're already creating a barrier.
Yeah, we can evolve ourselves by hearing them, hearing their advices. Shaun sir would like to share something like right now I've been doing this podcast from years. Let's suppose tomorrow if I'll be getting an offer from any kind of abroad firm that I need to do such kind of job, and if anytime I'll tell my mom and dad regarding that, and my parents would be really happy. Like in India, if you're getting placed in foreign countries for your job, it's very fascinating over here. It's very respectful. Sir, what used to be the mindset of global companies hiring Indian students, Indian fresher?
I think you've actually just summed it up, and it is that sense of family. You know, I've been to India. This is my third time in India with Fidelity. I just adore your country because the sense of culture and family values is such a critical driver to the success of any organization. So I was here last August. I welcomed 105 new graduates to Fidelity. And when those graduates joined Fidelity, some of their mums and dads came with them to kind of settle them in. And I think it's a beautiful thing, but it's a very powerful thing. So when we think globally and think about the opportunities maybe in the UK or Europe, and how would you actually define what does Indian talent bring to these other countries? It brings value. It brings that sense of family. And let's not forget that Fidelity is a family-run business. And that makes us very unique in our industry. So we resonate with those types of values. And I don't see it anywhere more than India in terms of that sense of family. It's a great thing, and it's a very rich skill set to have.
Sir, but sometimes it could be a barrier also, like parental pressure or mom and dad. There are like both of the ways.
We all get that. No, I mean, you know, mum and dad are always there to do what's right for their son, daughter, or other. But I think, you know, sometimes those barriers can be lifted very, very easily once they see you strive and thrive in your job and in your career.
Even my parents also resist me to doing such kind of things during the initial time of my career. They also want me to just study like as a usual kid do, but I was looking to explore something of my own, different. But it's been 4 years, things are going pretty good, and just I have proved them wrong. They are happy and I'm happy.
Which is great. and you've got to follow your dream. Any, you know, mum and dad will support that. Definitely in the right way.
Sir, so from Galgotias University, Fidelity International hired a significant number of students. What stood out to you about these students that made them industry ready from a global organization perspective?
Innovation. I think, you know, this is an incredible campus that is really encouraging students to learn in different ways, applied learning, not just learning through reading. And I think the opportunity for those students to actually push boundaries and push barriers, challenge the processes that we have, is where students from this campus are really showing a depth of potential. And that's something that Fidelity thrives on. We want people to be able to have the confidence to say, let's do that differently, or I challenge that process.
Something innovatively you can.
Definitely, and having the confidence to be innovative, having a voice, and I think the sense of community here as well is really important because it's empowering young people to have a voice and not be afraid to say, I think that can be done differently. So that's what we're seeing, and we just more and more of that we need to see in Fidelity because we're going through such an evolution. We need change agents, we need innovators, and we need confident young talent that is going to challenge the way that we do things for the better of our clients and the better of our colleagues and customers.
Sir, Galgotia students are aspiring to join Fidelity International. This is my last question. What should be the skill set they should try to train themselves like to get placed?
I would say you need to be adaptable to change. And that's similar of many industries nowadays, but we're changing at such a rapid and exciting rate that you have to be able to work with change and not against it. So young people going through academics, they experience change every day. They experience barriers. They have to navigate their way from A to B. Leverage that skill when you come to the workplace. Network. You know, having the confidence to knock on somebody's door, to build a relationship, to help you learn and navigate the business that you've joined, I think is really important. Resilience as well. Not every day we're going to achieve what we want to achieve, but to have that resilience and say, tomorrow, I'm going to make it a better day. I'm going to move forwards and onwards is a really important skill set to have. And I would also say tenacity. You know, think big, be bold, be brave. And these behaviours will unlock doors and unlock avenues of opportunity for anybody. It's easy for me to say that, all of these skills and behaviours. It takes time.
To execute.
And to execute them, but to be aware of them and to start applying them and to go home of a night and say, today, I demonstrated a great example of being bold because I stood up. I was present in the room and I stood up and I challenged a process because I didn't agree with it or I think it can be done better. That is something to really reflect on every single day and be proud of what you achieve.
Very motivating, sir. Very motivating. Thank you so much for your presence.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much for your time, Shaun.
Thank you so much. Thank you.